at home in Patriot League play. So important for the Greyhounds to protect home court and get an early win here in league play, Gary.
And Loyola, with that 3-game losing streak, 5-7 overall, 0-1 after that tough loss at Holy Cross, who's off to a 9-5 start. And 1-0, of course, in conference play. All the home teams won in the openers, as Milos Ilic, who's just had a whale of a first half of the season, not able, with a lot of contested defense going on, to make that one go down.
Yeah, I like, though, the active hands and offensive board there by Milos. For the Greyhound starters, let's take a look at Braden Speed, averaging 8.8 points a game. Jacob Theodosiou at the 2. At the 3, Tyson Commander, 5.3 points per game. 4, David Brown, the 3rd, at 4.3 points a game. And the big man in the middle, who we talked about, Milos Ilic, averaging just under 15 points a game, 9.2 rebounds. That's 25th in the country. Head coach Josh Leffler in his first season. Matt Blue, our good friend Kevin Farrell in his first season as an assistant. Ricky Hernandez and Kyle Diaz.
Just off to a barn burner kind of start. 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 11 steals, all team highs. As Lehigh looking to get to 7-6 overall and 2-0 in conference play.
Yeah, we were planning on talking about Higgins Jr. a lot today. One of the top 3 guards, I think, in this league.
David Brown misses the open 3 with a nice look from Braden Speed. 2-0 it remains. Mountain Hawks in front. Alvey against Milos Ilic. Knospin pulls up with a good look, way short.
Good defense, too, by David Brown. I thought nice job flying by, contested, get a hand up, maybe interrupted that shot a little bit.
Milos Ilic up top, back to number 11. Lehigh moving well on D. Speed pulls up, no good. Rebound, Mountain Hawks, as Whitney-Sidney comes up with that one.
Greyhounds today need to play solid defense, good shooting performance to control the pace. So far in the game, they're 0 for 4 from the field, Gary.
And that's Joshua Ingram, the 6'4" sophomore out of Forge, New Jersey. He is the replacement for the starter, not available, Keith Higgins. Took a spill late in that comeback win. They were down 20, 12 minutes to go, Jim Chivers? And hacked their way to victory as Milos Ilic puts a stop to his brief struggles to score.
Milos, the senior, 6'10", from Serbia. You saw maintain good control in the spin move. Nice body control with the finish.
Alvey, short.
David Brown getting his hand in there again, interrupting the offensive player.
Nice help by number 23, Brown. And not the best pass by number 23.
Got to get that through. I think Ilic would have had a wide open layup. A nice job by Lehigh to get their hands in the passing lanes.
Alvey wants to get a foul on number 11, Ilic, the heart and soul early on of this season. And Ilic wasn't going to come out and contest that. He let him have that little jump hook.
And I like Alvey as a player. Freshman, extremely crafty around the basket. We saw right there with the post move on Ilic, and Theodosiou go.
For Theodosiou. Loyola Lehigh tied at 4. 4 minutes in. Both teams have had some decent looks and some tough looks, and it's translated into a pretty low-scoring first 4 minutes as there goes number 6, Theodosiou, drawing attention in that corner. Speed's fake didn't fake out anybody. He was looking for a little advantage on that baseline drive. And that pass by Speed just hung up too long. And Jordan Stemke.
Meet him at the rim there, Gary.
Two-handed block. Stemke, the sophomore from just down the road in Columbia, Maryland, lights it up. 6'4" Greyhounds.
What a series of play there. Press a block, the meeting at the rim, hustling down the floor and the ability to finish in traffic.
Took a while to get going because of injury last year as a freshman, but he showed plenty of potential. And that three is nothing but twine as Whitney-Sidney puts the lead back in Lehigh's hands, 7-6, just under 5 minutes in here in Baltimore in the first half.
Expect a lot of that from Whitney-Sidney, the senior from Somerville, Mass.
Theodosio angry, probably trash talking himself after that miss. Illich just a little strong.
I like the battle with the two big guys right there. And look at Alvey run the floor.
And that's Cam Gillis with his first points. The 5'11" sophomore guard out of Falls Church, Virginia, just down the highway.
With the Sidwell friends, got a nice little crew of family and friends here today. And
9-6, Mountain Hawks. Speed drawing that double. Velko Illich just lost it, tried to do something.
Saw it there in the block, shot, finishing on the other side, making an acrobatic finish at the rim for the Greyhounds. Seen that many, many times.
And apologies to Mr. Stemke. He's not from Columbia, down south in Howard County. He's from Bel Air.
Yeah, it's where the tough guys are from.
Played at C. Milton Wright. That's a tough school. Got a whistle. One of the guys that's getting minutes as a result. The sophomore. And they're going to call Velko Illich there.
Motor. Again, going to have his hands full with the Illich brothers. See, just trying to muscle him down in the post, and pretty touch using the left, high off the backboard with the finish.
Made that look easy. Conniff at 6'11". No doubt that Conniff and his counterpart Alvey will be trading spots and going after somebody named Illich, whether it's Velko or Milos. Velko on the floor now. Stemke. A late whistle, but he'll take at my age. Stemke just looking cool and confident. 11-8. Lehigh 7 minutes into this first half. Mountain Hawks have won 3 straight, 6 of their last 8 after starting 0-4 against some brutal non-conference competition, by the way. And that shot, how did that get missed? But Conniff looking for the ball right back. Gillis from the top. Milos Illich probably got nicked in the back on the way down as Speed running the transition, and it's good. Braden Speed on the scoreboard. 11-10 Lehigh over Loyola.
Nice job in transition and a body control, finishing through contact. That's important for a guard. You don't see a freshman do that often.
Gillis almost carried that ball on the way to that not make. And trapped on the baseline. Milos Illich is everywhere. He started that transition, by the way, with just pure hustle and getting the ball from going out of bounds where it would have stayed with Lehigh. And again, extending himself to maintain a possession. Stemke squares up.
Yeah, and you hit it right on the head, Gary. Good job spotting up, feet were set, good position, good stroke. Gets the Greyhounds going up 2.
13-11 Loyola, 11.5 remaining. From the corner, it's a shot by Ingram, no good. Whitlock was able to dish him a very nice look. Nazir Whitlock, a hero in the other night's win in overtime. And look at Jordan Stemke, my goodness. And Jordan makes that one. He's also got a rebound. And that terrific block shot. So he's kind of got he's done half's worth of damage already in about 4 minutes.
And most importantly, the Greyhounds starting to build a little run. 10-0 run in the last 2:20.
16-11 Loyola. Knostman off the back of the iron.
What a rebound there by Stemke, too. Didn't think he had a chance, but again, using his athleticism sky high, securing the rebound.
Gifts are great, especially for athletes. Speed, trying to get the defense moving from the corner. Theodosiou looked like it was on the line. It was off. Stemke, Milos Ilic trying to give it right back to him. Wow, the left hand, and that had a little magic on it, a little spin. Looked like it was on its way out. It spun right back in, the backside of the rim.
Yeah, and give credit to Milos, too, on that pass.
Great
Good
look.
backdoor cut. Defense was doing a little bit too much ball watching there. Backdoor cut, nice pass with the finish by Stemke.
18-11. And right now, snake bit are the Mountain Hawks as Knosman's little lay-in just rimmed out gently into the Greyhounds' hands. Another whistle at the lead. 6-10 out of Monza, Italy. Sorry, Jim.
No, I was just getting ready to say the Greyhounds are making the simple pass and the easy pass.
And the defense is all over number 3 now. Just an errant pass.
His brother to catch that, but I like the look. Trying to get the bigs involved. A little bit too much on that one from Theodosiou.
9:45 remaining. 7-point advantage as Loyola, for now, has taken sort of a grip on this game. Whitlock shaking his head. In and out. Halfway down, they don't count halfway down. 12-0 run over the last 3:45 for the Greyhounds. Speed off. Ilic on as Milos.
Lehigh, Gary, they've been there before already being down. They were down 20 versus Bucknell. 12 minutes left in the second half. Came back and won versus in overtime. So that demonstrates their depth on the comeback versus Bucknell. Obviously not having Higgins is a big hit to that. They increase
to 13 now as Lehigh employs that pressure. David Brown doesn't want to get caught on that baseline. And we've got a tie-up. And that's like
we do in the second half to come back. They really turned up the pressure. They started pressing full court. They were going full denial, threw in a little zone right there. And you saw the turnover. Lehigh turn it up, forcing the turnover with David Brown.
They forced a bunch of them this year, about 15, 16 a game, and their turnovers committed are pretty low. They're second best in the conference with fewest turnovers. Knosman short. Ilic, another save. Long arms. Great get after the ball.
And a little dancing move along the baseline there to kick it up to Theodosiou.
Velko, Ilic. I was ready to call him Milos. You know, I was just looking at I saw one and saw him reach. He looks just like Milos saving the ball out of bounds. They are twins. Stemke off balance, and Velko cleans it up. 4.5 rebounds. Does things like make saves on the baseline, the end line, just to get the ball back in Loyola's hands. And that time, finally, a great look translates into a bucket as Whitney-Sidney makes it a 6-point lead for the Greyhounds, 22-16.
Yeah, streaky guy who can score points in chunks when he's dialed in. Good looking stroke at the top of the key, trusting his teammates to find him.
Theodosiou and drives, and right now, when he splits 2 men, Lehigh's not getting help after he gets through that second defender. He missed an easy one after doing just what he did there. That time, the finish was there. 24-16. Speed, and that tie-up's going to send the ball back the other way with the Greyhounds. Rivers, I think we're going to see a lot of that in the next 2.5 seasons from Mr. Stemke.
Yeah, and we've seen him fly over the court. Activity in the defense end is going to be important for this team to be successful, and done a good job contesting, getting hands up.
Boy, Lehigh contests really well. Their shading on double teaming is excellent.
4th turnover for the Greyhounds.
Both teams have been fairly clean with the basketball. Whitlock to Gillis. Ooh, that was kind.
Got the shooter's roll right there. And Gillis, we talked about, Gary, 16 points versus Bucknell with 5 assists in their last win.
Solid freshman, better sophomore is number 0. And you know, all those rim outs, that's how you get rewarded. You get a kind of a dead ball that rolls in right off the back of the iron. Shooters don't care, right, Jim? They just take it. Give me my points. Gillis forced that. And a 3.
Right before the game, good kid, and he's having a great season here at Lehigh.
And does the job at the line. We're down to a 3-point lead here for the Greyhounds. You know Lehigh was going to awaken. Now Loyola really having to work for decent shots. I mean, the defense really reacts well as Cicero just missed that shot. He was in good position to score. 24-21 it remains, so Lehigh looking to possibly tie on this possession. Alvey back on. Ingram pulls up behind the ball screen, and there's your tie.
Tough. Wow, what a shot there by Ingram. And he had a big game last year at Reitz Arena as a freshman, and looking to do the same here. We've got a tie ball game. Nice comeback here by Lehigh.
Not a surprise. Lehigh has done that throughout many, many years under Coach Reed. Illich. Not the best look. It didn't come off his hand right.
What a move.
Human. Look at that move.
Good move, but even better block there by Theodosia. Good timing.
And Whitney-Sidney just off the mark. We remain tied at 24. Stemke over to David Brown. Illich, and one. Looking up at the bucket, that's not easy, right? I mean, you got to practice that shot. Under duress with guys trying to hack at the ball and so forth. 4.5 to go, 26-24. And on the pull-up, Ingram, good decision, good shot. 26 all, 4:15 remaining. Braden Speed. Stemke. I don't know what he was doing, going sort of behind his back, but that didn't turn out well.
That's going to turn it up defensively and then turn up their intensity, and they've done so. Just exactly what brought them back into the game versus Bucknell.
And the Mountain Hawks are intense enough to where they got the lead back. 28-26, Lehigh, under 4 minutes to go in this first half. Stemke, good stab there by Speed. Illich, David Brown from the corner, and David Brown with a timely three-pointer.
Big bucket, too. Great pass by Milo. She had the smaller defender, Ingram, guarding him. They double team, and good kick out to find David Brown in the corner.
Greyhounds back in front, 29-28. This is the kind of game we envision. A little back and forth, lead changing. Whitlock with that set shot. Yeah, you made the point, the obvious point earlier, Jim. Lehigh struggling. Both teams were really bad shooting the ball in the first 5 minutes, but they're not worried. They just got done coming down from 20 as Jordan Stemke keeps doing what he's been doing in the latter part of this first half.
Steps into his shots and rises with good elevation, tough to defend.
David Brown with a great rebound there, flying up and had to reach out with that right hand and stab that ball in midair. Now Loyola trying to retake the lead. Not that way. That's a turnover as two Greyhounds are on the deck. Numbers are with Lehigh, and no, Alvey can't get it to go down. Loyola with a chance to take the lead again.
Yeah, Loyola got bailed out there. Lehigh could have been an easy two as a little miscommunication on offense led to a quick turnover.
Look at that pass across the floor, through some traffic. Lehigh recovers nicely. And he leans in, does Milos Ilic, and get TOs to go with their 4 assists. Lehigh with 4 assists, only 3 turnovers. And Loyola's been dominant in the paint area, 18-8. And the bench, of course, because Jordan Stemke comes off the bench, 16-7. And then 6-0 in second chance points are the Greyhounds. So it all adds up to a 1-point game inside 2 minutes to go in this first half.
That's the second time we've seen that from Josh Ingram, using the big man to hide from on the ball screen. That just gives him a little bit of space for the pull-up J.
And Josh Leffler wants to talk it over. 127 next Saturday at 5. Navy, American on Monday night at Lehigh, and then home games against Lafayette and Holy Cross.
Nice job right out of the timeout by Coach Leffler, too. Moved the ball around.
2 rebounds a game, leads the Patriot League. Over 14 points a game coming into today's contest. Leads Loyola among the top scorers in the league.
Yeah,
3 in a row not long ago. And was 2 assists away from a triple-double in that heartbreaker of a loss at Holy Cross on Thursday night. 8 assists, a career high, as Speed gets on the board again.
Great pass by Ilic, too, finding
Beautiful.
the speed. Double team came. Didn't give Lehigh enough time to react. Good touch pass to find Speed and good touch.
Just as I note his career high 8 assists, 2 away from a triple-double against Holy Cross, he dumps a nice one, a helper. Right there to Braden Speed, and Loyola with another stop. Up 35-34. About 6 seconds differential on the shot clock and play clock ending this first half.
Got a zone look for Lehigh, too. It looked to attack the gaps and find the open areas inside the painted area to make a move.
First time they dropped into that, right? Speed! Beautiful. What a finger roll, huh? Wow. 3-point lead. Last shot in Lehigh's hands. And great defense. And we are underway at Reitz Arena.
Yeah, I think for the offensive side, Gary, attacking the rim is going to be very important here in the second half. And for Loyola, it's all about the third scorer rising. Stemke and Ilic doing about 60% of their scoring right off the bat. You see Ingram getting quick, too.
He used the pick very nicely and smoothly. Just got wide open right under the bucket. 37-36, Loyola. Ingram now with 12. Braden Speed, been begging for the contact. He finally got it.
Strong mix of dribble moves allow him to drive past a defender.
Tyson Commander, quiet first half. See if Loyola can get him going. And David Brown, I thought he went by without touching him. Of Whitney-Sidney, that is. Lehigh edges back in front. We've had our 10th lead change. First minute of this second half.
Gillis just a ball hawk on defense, too. All over Speed. Good pass.
Brown right back to him. And Loyola's offense is in tune with each other. 39-38. Back in front go the Greyhounds. Ingram, the hot hand. It took a while to get going. And maybe that'll cool him off for a bit. Loyola now trying to extend that 1-point advantage. Milos Ilic. Stemke. That was an awkward shot.
An awkward shot, but I like how he threw it high off the backboard.
Bench. Whitlock, tough guard on Stemke. Giving up 3 or 4 inches. 2 sophomores. And another late whistle. but he got bumped.
Others, they both use their body so well to get good position, and that all started a couple passes away, fighting for a post entry pass.
Illich in double figures.
Yeah, Greyhounds are 6 for 7 from the field on their last 7.
Back up in front by 3 is Loyola. Whitney-Sidney, nice entry. Velko just leaned into him a little bit. That was well.
Yep, not afraid of contact at the post.
He plays, with a heady mind. And big guys, they come in all kinds. And he definitely is thinking the game out there, and he's trying different things to limit Milos Illich. What an assignment. What a delivery. Look at Velko. Almost made that happen. Goodness. Whitlock now, quickly. Gets the offense moving, and everybody got down quickly. No good on that 3 from the corner from Whitney-Sidney. Theodosiou couldn't pass it up. Stays with the Greyhounds. Down it goes. Stemke again.
Good job, activity on the offensive board. Theodosiou almost rolled right in, but the activity by Illich and Stemke to keep it alive.
43-40. One possession game. Gillis tried to lean in for contact, and somehow the ball finds its way back to Ivy, and he can't can that, 12-footer, 10 maybe? 3.5 minutes gone in this second half. Stemke off balance with some good defense. He couldn't really cut to the rim. Milos out, excuse me. Velko, Illich, Theodosiou, Stemke, Commander, and Speed on the floor. David Brown into the substitution area for the Greyhounds. Whitlock turns it over.
Here we go, showtime.
Oh my!
How about that, Gary? The explosiveness.
Where did he take off from? What's your estimation, Jim?
That was pretty.
12 feet from the rim? Oh, wow. My knees hurt. $15:35 remaining. All right, Coach, let's see if they do that. Gillis, Whitlock. That little jab step didn't move Jacob much. 26-19 in rebounds. Overall.
Good floor vision, trying to turn the corner, but nice defense by the Greyhounds.
David Brown, a little trouble corralling that pass. Cicero on for Loyola. And Theodosiou lost it on the way up and got rewarded and beyond this early in the second half. Just 2 3-pointers made by the Hounds, but they have shot 17 of 33 overall, which is just fine. And the whistle, foul. Knosman, and he's in trouble on the baseline. Gets out of it. Gillis.
That's a big bucket. Big bucket,
what was that, the 4th attempt to score?
Ingram had almost a wide open layup underneath the hoop, gave up a good look for an even better look at the top, and see if Lehigh can build off of that.
47-43. Loyola in front. 14.5 remaining in this second half. Greyhounds trying to get to 6-7 and 1-1 in league play. And the 1-1 really means something. Theodosiou a little deep, no good. Here comes Gillis pushing it. Tyson Commander anticipated that pass to Whitlock and then gave it back up. From the corner, Ingram, no good. Stemke might have gotten away with a little shove off.
You're right. Coach Reed is not happy about that, but I think I'm with you there, Gary.
Right in the official's ear, walking up the line. Yeah. I mean, it was extended, and usually that gets called. Illich may have taken an extra shuffle.
With you too. Referees want to get out of here to watch some football, but Illich using that Euro step, using the extra step.
The Euro and one. 49-43 Loyola. 13:25 remaining. Josh Leffler exhorting his defense on. He wants those feet moving better.
A lot of dribbling here by Lehigh.
Gillis.
Three in the shot clock. I don't think he does.
And that was a bit of a flop because that would have been called if it was contact. Commander with a sky shot that cut everybody loose 2 hours early for like 5 flakes that fell.
For the dusting,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is always a delight to children. You'll never forget those days, will you, Jim? We're off? Yeah, we're off. Let's go play.
Well, that was back in the days where you used to see the schools scrolling at the bottom of the TV, like an ESPN draft, an NFL draft.
But it kind of looked like he got away with a step before missing a very difficult shot. He got pinned a little bit by Milos. Just great footwork from number 11.
I like the ball movement by the Greyhounds. Moving the defense, couple ball reversals.
He thought about it. You knew he was going to take it. No good.
And that's about the same look that Illich had for a potential game winner on the road versus Holy Cross. Had an open look there with, 3-4 seconds left, Gary?
Literally at the buzzer, yeah.
And you and I did talk to Coach Leffler about that, and that's a look that they're happy Illich to take. Good pass.
And it bounced right through and under, kind of, and into the hands of the Greyhounds for another Lehigh turnover. They haven't done it much today. They're pretty clean overall with the basketball. They average in the area of like 11 turnovers a game in 40 minutes, and especially the way they like to play. That's pretty good. They're among the tops in the Patriot League again in taking care of the basketball. And Illich.
Yeah, looking for a foul there. May have gotten hit on the arm, just no call by the referee.
This is a nice battle, watching Speed and Gillis just trying to figure each other out. And Whitlock figured that out. Breaks that scoring bog down we just went through for a couple minutes, and now it's a 7-point advantage as Lehigh slices into another decent Loyola lead. It's down to 7, 52-45. Look at Stemke.
With
that shoulder.
Yeah, the body control. Good physicality against a bigger defender. Creating space off the bounce and the finish by Stemke.
Back to 9-point advantage, 54-45 for the Greyhounds. Coming down to 10.5 minutes left in this second half. Ingram. And a great look from the corner. Gillis, no hesitation. Call it 3. 54-48 Loyola.
And this is about the time Lehigh made that big run versus Bucknell. They were down 20 at home versus Bucknell, and right about now is when they really turned it up and got things going.
Well, you got to turn it up on defense down 20. You got no choice. You might lose by 30, but you're right. You're not going to go down just playing what you normally play, just a set D. And I tell you, the defensive discipline, he dunks inside, mid-range jumpers, threes, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block. Milos Illich with 12 points, just doing everything, even things that don't show up in the stat sheet. And right there is a 3-point opportunity that Lehigh, I think Loyola probably felt it coming in. I think Lehigh probably felt the same. Even missing a terrific junior in Keith Higgins, who went down late in that crazy comeback, won over overtime against Bucknell Thursday night. They didn't panic, and why should they? And Illich going to get his chance for a 3-point play. Coming into this season, the plan is to have them both healthy the entire season, of course. And we see now with both of them looking as good as they've ever looked, physically, condition-wise, not playing in any significant discomfort. Back of the iron there. As Whitlock comes up short, but he continues to get outstanding looks at the rim. 6-point advantage, Loyola looking for more. Speed, trying to dump it to Veljko Ilić. And that pass was tipped, and Veljko caught it and turned it into a lay-in.
Pretty post play there by the big fella. And I love the guards moving the ball around, waiting until Ilić had position in the post. Good, strong catch and finish.
And nice hand-eye coordination by number one, catching that altered pass with no problem. And that air ball's a problem.
So you want him shooting one at the top of the key. That's exactly what you want.
And he's getting a good talking to from the assistants. Great job turning nothing into something by Gillis.
And a gift there, too, with the turnover.
Yep. Loyola's had their share today. They're in double digits again. Managed to cover it up with some really good shooting from two. And a lot of the defense has gone inside. And Loyola knows they have an advantage there.
Yep. Do the same thing here. Attack the zone, attack the gaps.
Commander. Short, had to, the shot clock was down to 2. Cicero on Gillis now. And Commander earns that foul. 13 for Gillis as he misses the second. 12 for Ingram. 20 for Jordan Stemke. His career high was at Boston University in a blowout loss with 23 points. Back at the end of last season, February 25th. So, and Jordan's gotten to 22, I think, recently. Commander leaned in looking for the foul and got picked, and that
7-11, keep the defensive intensity up for the remainder of the game here. Continue to work to get some stops, fabricate some basket, some scoring opportunities here as Whitney-Sidney looks to attack the gap again.
Wow.
Using his right high off the backboard with contact in the finish.
Not much you can do about that except take it. 3-point advantage. I mean, we've seen enough of them, Jim. They get most of them right. Adam Flory, Tony Crisp, and Joe Switzer doing the work on the court today. This game has moved along at a nice pace. They let them play. The fouls are being called mostly when it looks like they would be, and great defense that time. And not that time as Albee, excuse me. Again on the offensive glass, and Loyola is a better offensive rebounding team than they're showing in these last few minutes. Because Lehigh's making their way with those offensive boards. 1 point is the Loyola lead. Commander trying to get it to his big guy. Delivery good, shot good.
Great seal by Ilić too. And Commander with the entry pass again, right in the right spot. Had no defensive help there with Lehigh at the finish. See if the Greyhounds can get a stop here with the zone look.
They're going zone. Ilić got a hand on that one. Shot clock down to 6. Off the back of the iron, Theodosio with a good rebound. And that could have been anybody's up in the air that long.
One of the toughest things to do playing zone is getting a rebound, but good job with the activity and the energy to go after the defensive board there. You get Gillis on the reach. Passing skills, excellent feel for the game, knows when to make a play.
63-58 after Skempti's job at the free throw line. Commander, a little trouble getting that one under security. David Brown took care of the end. Higgins and Whitney-Sidney come into today's game, and Higgins, of course, not available. 46.3% shooting, each of them. And Illich, that time, the second time. Hammer that nail, big guy. 65-58 Loyola, 4.5 to go.
Padding stats right there. He missed the wide open layup. Nice job getting the offensive board again. A couple pump fakes.
Gillis just tremendous. I think the defenses are getting a little tired, and I think Gillis can smell it, and he's finding lots of open areas. He's working himself into position a lot in this second half.
And on the other side of the floor, just a bulldog on defense, picking up just about full court on defense, leading to 6 steals in the game.
Stemke rims out with the 3 in the corner. 3:51 remaining. 5-point advantage by the Greyhounds.
Smart play by Gillis to pull back. Set something up. When the Illich brothers are in the paint fighting for position and use their size and strength, getting position in the paint.
Now they set up a little pressure. Drop back into the half-court defense. Brief zone action by each defense, but this has been a man-to-man kind of game. And speaking of men, how about Stemke?
Tough to guard when he gets ahead of steam going towards the basket.
(68-60). Stemke with 25. Coming down to the 3-minute mark in the second half. Ingram kind of lost that delivery. Now Alvey misses with the left hand.
Nice board. Good board by the Greyhounds. Stemke going up, using his athleticism to secure it. One stop. See if you can convert here.
Good defense again by the Loyola Greyhounds. Theodosia going to use that screen right back to the big guy. How did David Brown know to be there? That's incredible. Just to give them another chance. Good stop by the Mountain Hawks, 68-60. Loyola. And Milos with the well-timed block and taps it right back to Theodosio.
What a block, and you were right. Good timing, straight up and down, didn't reach, kept the ball in play, Gary, and gave the Greyhounds the ball.
Milos he's the workman-like guy. I mean, he's got dazzle in his game, but he's got all the bases covered in his game.
Ooh,
Jacob leaning forward, hard landing.
Yeah.
Again, a career high in points. Those 25 look mighty good, 25 of the 69. But of course, in 2012, the first round win over heavily favored Duke is the one that lives on, and C.J. McCollum was magical. And I just watched him drop 50.
To space the floor, you got a full court press here, get the ball in, get the ball to your guards and your ball handling guys. An opportunity to find a seam or space.
Lehigh's going to look to trap wherever they can. Speed, the freshman, and Theodosio, the sophomore, in charge of the ball right now. And trying to neutralize that pressure. Shot clock down under 5.
On Colgate, but they're not a heavily favorited like they used to be, and they've lost some key pieces here.
Yep.
I think now for Lehigh, find a way to get in the paint, make a play, get fouled, get to the free throw line. Plenty of time left here.
Boy, Loyola just made that entry pass really tough, and I'm not sure about that. Whitney-Sidney, by the way, with 19. Just like the veteran he is,
yeah.
And it's time to send Loyola to the line. And Loyola's today so. Gillis, it's been marvelous today.
Wow.
Wow, come on now. Is that legal?
How did he get
Theodosio, Stemke, and Speed. Theodosio on that rebound.
That's fine. That's the guy you want at the free throw line. Theodosiu, 7 for 8. Same thing for the Greyhounds.
Jumps out.
Yep, sprint back on defense, identify your man, nothing easy, contest shots, do not foul, and there's a travel there by Whitney.
Just last week, late December. Now Loyola's just figuring they're going to get back to the line.
Yeah, good job by Coach Leffler, too. We saw that come and help.
Quick foul on Speed. Today, will the young guys be able to work it through and beat the old guys as the lead goes up to 8? Gillis gets the go take.
If you feel like you're in trouble right now, burn a timeout.
Commander dumps it in.
Ooh,
and Theodosio got hooked and grabbed, and 76-68. Loyola, my bet is they don't foul anybody.
Oh,
wow. Gillis in rhythm. Goodness. And Illich draws the contact. Got that extra second. Just another day at the office for Milos Illich. Under 10, 7-point lead. All right, okay, Gillis, that's enough. Is the next one going to be off of the square? Talk about padding your stats.
Yeah.
Huh? Just perfect from the line late. Here's Theodosio. And that'll do it.